All right. Stand by, everybody. Here we go. Hello, everyone. My name is Rituro, but you can just call me Mr. Unemployable. The 2019-2020 season is complete in England, and we're going to take a quick whip on through it so we can see who's going up, who's going down, and where my beloved, or at least my current team, Grimsby Town, finished in their campaign. We'll start way down in non-league football. Conference South, Maidstone wins the playoff to go up along with Bristol Rovers, who unsurprisingly Bristol Rovers will go back up to Conference Premier. Always shocked to see how poorly Bristol Rovers do in my Football Manager saves. For whatever reason, they have the hardest time staying in League 2, which you'd think they would be, well, not a constantly relegated team, but at least lower mid-table. So good to see that they are going back up a level, and joining them from Conference North, Harrogate Town win the playoff over Altrincham, going up with North Ferriby United. Well, that's just a fine day at the office for them, isn't it? Unfortunately, FC United did not win the playoff. They made the playoffs, though, 5th place in the North. Great job for them. My affiliate showing very nicely in the league, which bodes well for them in 2020-2021. I will certainly be sending players down to help FC United with hopefully a playoff push, or another playoff push, and hopefully promotion, because it would be even better to have my on-loan players playing in Conference Premier as opposed to Conference North. Cheltenham Marine and Cambridge taking the drop on the other end of it. Meanwhile, back down in South, it is Welling, Chelmsford, and Braintree. Bit of a shocker there, going down to the Isthmian League, perhaps? Regardless, back up at Conference Premier. Oh yes, it is Wrexham AFC beating Aki Stanley in the final. They will go up along with Cambridge United to League 2. They will be joining us for this next season. Ebbsfleet, Boston, Nuneaton, and Woking going down to the respective North and South. Wrexham's a great case here for why I so am glad that Callum Ainsley is getting minutes, because Wrexham, as you will recall, that was the site for, although he's returned to the club now, Callum Ainsley helped get this squad to where it is right now. They were on hand helping them get promoted. So while Wrexham will move up to League 2, which means I won't be able to send anybody back on loan to them, I can at least claim a small part of helping Wrexham get to where they are today, which is a, nice little thing to take some pride in. Moving up a level to League 2, it is Lincoln getting the playoff win in the final over Oxford at Wembley. It will be our rivals Lincoln City moving up to League 1, joining Wolverhampton, who won it by 6 points, Torquay, and Shrewsbury. As you can see, Grimsby finished a very respectable 11th, 65 points. Great campaign all around, considering where we were supposed to finish. 11th is an absolutely fantastic result. Very happy with this squad, and if the Glentoran pattern holds, that means we could be on to some very good things next season. Meanwhile, agony for Southend and Bolton. Bolton did not recover from that 10-point drop, and even if they didn't have the 10-point deductions from administration, they are in no shape. Bolton falling all the way down to non-league football. Tragic days for Bolton Wanderers. So let's take a look here at actually we should show one thing. Who's coming down from League 1? Well, we know Wycombe won their playoff, so good for them. Whoops, Wycombe won, come on now. Come on, there we go. We know Wycombe won the playoff, as did, Millwall. They are still in their playoff. My apologies, it's Wycombe and Millwall hoping to go up along with Leyton Orient 2 to the championship, but coming down from League 1 to League 2. This is the important part. Peterborough, Portsmouth, Gillingham, and Coventry. Now, Gillingham, I have been trying to, for the longest time, grab a few of their players. Rafael Floro being one of them who I've had on my radar as perhaps a serviceable left back. And it may be that he is in fact League 2 quality if his team is going down. So that will be interesting to see. But why don't we get right to the awards for the league and the team here in the 2019-2020 season for Grimsby Town. So, first things first, let's take a look at the league awards. Player of the month, the final month of the year. Whoops, try that again. Player of the month, there it is. It is from Torquay United, Otis Khan with an 8.16. Incredible in Torquay's drive to the finish. 5 appearances, 6 goals. That's how you do it. Very nice indeed for the youngster. Head coach of the year went to Adrian Pennock from Lincoln. Not a shocker there that he managed to guide them up to promotion. That will get you into consideration for coach of the year. And 1,074 points, pretty darn good. Goal of the season. Unfortunately, we were on the receiving end of the worst one. A spectacular overhead kick from James Baxendale from Barnet against us in April. That's always a little bit of a stinger to see your team scored on in goal of the year, but such is life. Yeovil Town and Gateshead's Joe Lawley and Jason Kennedy respectively picking up the remainder of the honors. Player of the year, well, it went to Alfie Pavey. It was not really a shocker here. I mean, 7.5 for 27 and 36. That's a fantastic goal-scoring return for the striker, and 12 helpers as well. That's what you want to see from a striker. Great job there from Alfie Pavey. And I mean, it's at 24. He's going to be good for Torquay for years to come. Hopefully he does well in League One. The players select the best 11 as chosen by the players. Sadly, no Grimsby players, but again, Burton Albion's Marcus Harness, actually, he's a player that I've had in past saves. So good to see him doing well, that's for sure. He manages to get in on the right-hand side of the pitch. Meanwhile, unsurprisingly, 4 Wolves players make it in. Goalkeeper Mikael Anderson, Nathan Thompson on the back line, Lloyd James in the midfield, and Nathan Dyer out left. 1 Torquay player, Alfie Pavey, Daniel Corey from Shrewsbury, 2 Yeovil Town players, Ben Turner on defense, James Vincent in the midfield, and then Rockdale's Scott Tanzer on left back, and Jake Wright's Oxford United's Jake Wright rounding out the players select. Finally, top goal scorer, Jonathan Quinn sadly could not catch Alfie Pavey. All of that injury time just did not help poor Jonathan Quinn. He does finish with 23 and 39. That's a fantastic return for Jonathan Quinn. Very, very happy with that. 6.97 average, so he did miss more than he put away, but still not the worst thing in the world by a long shot. Very, very happy with the performance from Jonathan Quinn, though that is fairly big shoes to fill for next season. Let's look how the squad did, though, just on their own merits here. As you can see, so far as actual ability goes, Lob and Pike were still our top players on loan here, although I'll get to that in just a second. Jack Brimmer is now a 3.5. His, my goodness, he is just flying up here. 7.0 in his form, 6.85 season average, 37 appearances, no substitutes, and 2 assists to his name. Fantastic job from the young signing. Definitely my best signing of the season, if you don't count the loan signings, and I certainly don't. That said, you may notice Callum Connolly has joined us. That's right, I have a new defender to sit beside Alex Grant, and the coaches like him already, and with 13, 14 in heading, marking, and tackling, he's going to be a fantastic limited defender for us, and I have very high hopes that our defense should stop leaking goals now. At least that's the hope. Other things to note here, Brendan Baldwin up to a full 2 stars after starting at 1, so those development minutes are finally paying off. He is rewarding my faith in him, and his potential is still sky high. So hopefully he can hold up his end of the bargain. Very hopeful for Brendan Baldwin. Elsewhere on the squad, we take a look down onto the average rating for the entire season here. Again, this should surprise nobody that Raquel Pike was our best player all season long. 14 goals, 8 assists, 7.11 average. Very good indeed. He and Quinn carried the goal-scoring load. That is not really a shocker. Certainly Quinn more so. Though if we look at the actual goals scored here, Tom Eves did bang in 10 with 8 helpers of his own. A little bit less than I'd like to see from Eves, though for a target man, that is about what you expect. Jack McCourt also contributed 4, 2 from set pieces, 2 from just being there to clean up the rebound garbage, and 5 assists. McCourt also looking pretty good to hit his potential, which would be fantastic. Now let's take a look here at if I can figure out how to get there for the club. Can we get to the awards? I do believe we can. Best 11, there we go. This year's best 11, oh, not 2014. It should see. It's strange. It didn't actually show this year's best 11. That's a little bit shocking, actually, now that I think of it. Very shocking indeed, because they did actually announce it. Well. Suffice to say, the usual suspects that you would expect are indeed there. It was a pretty good year for everybody at Grimsby, and that is unfortunately not reflected in the awards window. But I can trust me, I am fairly happy with the squad. As I said, I'm expecting good things from Grimsby in 2020, 2021, and I do believe we can build on it. And I say that with confidence. with great confidence. Because if we go over here to the transfer window, I've already started poaching players on end-of-contract signings. Joseph Jones from Northampton, Thomas Robson from Aki Stanley, Raphael Flora from Gillingham. I told you I was bringing him over. Cameron Brannigan from Rotherham, Neil McGoldrick from Middlesbrough, Harry Hickford from Wycombe, and Raquel Pike. That's right, I signed Raquel Pike. He is coming over. He will be one of ours. Looking at these transfers here, this is going to be quite fantastic. He will be joining. All these players are joining, which is an amazing return here. All these free signings since we have no transfer budget, but we did have the payroll to really bolster our numbers. And this was after getting rid of all that dead weight that wasn't going to be coming back. The fact that we are reinforcing now Cameron Brannigan in our midfield, that is just fantastic. That is the kind of midfielder I want to see leading the line. Because you'll notice, Pierre Larauri is gone. If you were paying attention to the squad screen earlier, he's gone. We got rid of him. It cost us half of our solidarity payment. We got a $765,000 in solidarity, which is amazing, and then immediately spent half of that to ditch Raquel Pike on a free. So, such is life. Rafael Floro, he will be a fairly good left back. Ideally, I want him as depth, but considering what my left back situation was last season, he very well may be starting come first kick. So we will see. Harry Hickford, another defender. This is going to be a great signing here. At 24, he's got the potential to do very well indeed in this league, and having him to back up my existing duo, oh, that's just going to be fantastic. Joseph Jones, a right back, because I'm not entirely certain that I will get Lob on loan. I'd like to get Lob on loan for another season, but if I don't, I have Joseph Jones backing him up. 23-year-old Welsh youngster, and he's got potential through the roof, and that's what I want. I want to be able to build this up, and that's why the board loves me, because I am building this squad for the future. Neil McGoldrick, 22-year-old center back. Again, I am making sure, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that we do not have these catastrophes on central defense that we had last year. So I am very hopeful that this goes well. Raquel Pike, oh, we know all about Raquel Pike. Everybody knows about Raquel Pike, and that he is staying with us now permanently. He's amazing. Thomas Robson, left back, there's your starter right there. So if he, in theory, Aki Stanley's left back should come over to us and do very well. But if he doesn't, for whatever reason, we do have Rafael Floro backing him up, and that should address all of the key points that really hindered us last year. Shaky defense, and nobody other than Larauri and McKenna to lead the line. I will see if I can find another attacking mid, but right now, if I only can go with Brannigan here, Brannigan and McKenna, we'll be fine. We will get through, and I am happy with that. Now, I mentioned before, and I'm hoping that this will actually show up. Yes, there we go. Our loanies, our wonderful loanies. We have John Byrne, we have Dan Fox, Callum Ainsley. Callum Ainsley, he was the guy who was really doing all the work. Well, he didn't do all of it, but he did do a lot of work for Wrexham to help them in their promotion bid. And that was reflected by him now hitting his full 2 stars instead of 1.5. He will definitely be seeing time with the team this season. There's no reason for me not to bring him onto the full roster. Dan Fox, however, is really not living up to that potential. Did not develop at all with the Nuneaton. He will be going to FC United next year. That is a given. He will be there all season long. And John Byrne, well, again, I'm not super happy with how he's developing, but again, he's just a youngster, so it's not like I'm, losing a ton of money by not getting him to his full. So he will be going down to FC United with Fox as well. Ainley, though, in his league performance, 6.63 average is not too shabby at all. Only a goal. He did get a red and 8 yellows, so he'll fit in nicely with my card-happy midfield. But he did help a team get promoted. He did show some excellent signs of development, and he can play in that midfield and spell off McCourt if necessary. That is good. Having depth for Jack McCourt is going to be fantastic. Very happy to see Ainley developing. Alright, one final thing to show off before we end today's episode and I get to work on prepping for the 2020-2021 season, and that's Nigeria. We are in World Cup qualifying with Nigeria. And, it's the loss to Mali. Again, we are the favorites in Group 3 here. We are by far the favorites. The 3-0 win against Guinea-Bissau was as expected, but this loss to Mali was a bit of a gut punch. And to be fair, I gambled and lost heavily by trying to blood as many youngsters as I could, get some youngsters cap-tied, and it backfired on me. So, let's look at the 3-0 win over Guinea-Bissau here. This was as you might expect. Chidera Ize with 2 goals, as he should. Shuksanike, again, adding his own in the 58th. This was a dominant performance, as you might expect. That said, Emo Fred Friday, really bad day at the office at 6'6". But up and down the park, though, even Abdulio Ferri, as a youngster in his first national team cap, this was his big debut, and the 6.7 for the youngster is a very good day indeed. Sammy, for Guinea-Bissau, 7.8, very nice in the losing cause. Ife Ambrose came on, the captain. Stanley Hassan and Jordan Ibe. He is officially cap-tied to Nigeria. He has played a competitive fixture. Thanks for developing him, England U21s. He's ours now. Hopefully that means he can get some time with Fulham. Though we will see. We will see. Hopefully that gives a little bit of faith to the Fulham boss to play Ibe so he gets some more minutes and, stays in form, as it were. And while this is all well and good, we'll show the goals here. We'll show the goals for Guinea-Bissau, or against Guinea-Bissau. Not for, they didn't get any. They're decent goals. And then we'll get into the Mali match and see where it all went horribly sideways. So starting off here, a deep throw for Guinea-Bissau. It's intercepted by Ferry and cleared. Right back in is Sammy. Did so well on that right side. Headed away. Correa. Junior. Correa. It was moments like this that really had me worried, because why are we allowing Guinea-Bissau to possess the ball at home so easily? Thankfully, Emo Fred Friday has had enough of that. Makes the run from deep and just keeps on going. Just keeps on going. They back off. It's a bad idea, especially with Onazi right in the midfield calling the shots to Ahmed Musa. And Musa to Ize, and that's all she wrote. 1-0 in the 8th minute. They claimed offside. During the match, I actually went back and looked. It was nowhere close to offside. Sour grapes, nothing more there. In the second half we go here. Anike back to Ambrose off the throw-in. Musa. Little ball back to Okafor. Onazi, Eze, and it's just like that in the box. Tiki-taka toe. Oh, so beautiful. That's the kind of play you expect from your big guns. And then the icing on the cake, as Kolawole posted the clean sheet here as our goalkeeper of the future. Sadly, he's our best bet for the not-too-distant future, to get us through qualifying at least. Kept his clean sheet and started the attack as Eze, who was on a brace, looking for his hat-trick, unselfishly blows by two men and sets up Aneke, who buries this shot. 3-0 Nigeria over Guinea-Bissau. Just a great day at the office for Eze, and we are so happy to have started our qualification campaign on the right foot. However, we then turned around and very unfortunately lost to Mali, who also won against Congo, who then went on to defeat Guinea-Bissau. So, we're in a little bit of trouble here. Unsurprisingly, Ivory Coast and Senegal on top of their groups around us, as are South Africa. Mozambique over Cameroon is a bit of a shocker. Algeria, again, not a shocker. Tunisia, DR Congo, Gabon over Egypt, and Guinea, that's a very kind of a shocker, and Ghana, again. So not horribly upsetting rest of the groups, but there are a few. Not the least of which is the fact that we are behind Mali. And that match, I think, speaks to where my plan to get all these youngsters on the field finally came unraveled. Eze scored early, and at that point I'm like, whoa, we are off to the races. And then this kind of stuff happened. We got outpossessed, outshot, and again, we just really fell down hard. Nwalgo on defense had a good day at the office. Onazi in the midfield had a good day at the office. Those around him, not so good. Igibor was not a good pick. Ambrose as captain, that was a shocker how hard he fell down in his duties on right back. And even the subs, though, they did not really have that kind of an impact. And even if you go over to the Mali side, it wasn't a great performance with them either. Only Ngoyo Kante showing up and just demolishing the entire game. That's unfortunate. When you let that kind of, a single player to dictate the tempo and pace of the game, bad stuff happens. The Anderlecht midfielder will be very happy with his performance. I am certainly not. Let's take a look here at the goals here as we close down this episode of Mr. Unemployable. So you can see what we have to work on for our next match, which is thankfully next year. Got some friendlies to tune up with first. Starting off with, the deep throw is intercepted on the clearance. Ben Okafor, who's done well for us generally speaking on the left. Friday. Okafor. Friday. Inside, you're not going to get an easier goal than that if you're Tajira Eze. That is easy as pie. He took his time, picked his place, 1-0 2 minutes in. The problem is we could not kill this game off, and that's a problem for Nigeria. It's really going to be, for these next few friendlies, me finding, again, Kolawole should have had that one. You can make the claim that the young keeper did not do his best, but why did we leave Kante alone to take that shot is the bigger question. Again, these friendlies are going to be all about getting together my senior side, my best players, just having them be a fully functioning unit for next year's qualifiers. Again, things are looking pretty good, except for that part, where Dicko on the volley, just a sensational strike, set up by Sacco, and suddenly the match has spiraled out of control. Try as we might, we're unable to level the scoring, even get a point out of it, and that is bad news. So, that is the state of Nigeria. That is the state of Grimsby. Next time on Mr. Unemployable, we will get into the 2020-2021 kickoff in League 2. We will see what our opponents look like. We will see where the media predicts we will end up. Will it be another case of heavily overperforming, or will we not be as surprise packages as we were this year? I mean, this year, they said 21st, we finished 11th. Can we do better than that? We'll just have to wait and see. You've been watching Mr. Unemployable. My name is Rituro. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. If you like what you've seen, please consider liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing, favoriting, telling all your friends about these videos being hosted on YouTube. And of course, if you like watching it on YouTube, you'll like it even more watching live. I record all these episodes live on twitch.tv/Rituro. Come on out and join us. It's a great time. Once again, my name is Rituro. Just call me Mr. Unemployable. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you next time.